to you by Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Sulky Threads, express yourself with Sulky and create with confidence. Our exclusive fabric partners. Be sure to look for their newest lines of fabric.
Welcome to Quiltmaker's Block Network. I'm Diane Harris with Quiltmaker, and today we're going to make Midnight Flight, block number 381. It was designed by Bonnie Hunter for Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks Volume 4. And we'll also look at how to take a scrappy approach when making quilt blocks. Midnight Flight uses a variety of blue fabrics, a variety of black prints, a variety of cream-colored fabrics for backgrounds, and a solid red along with a solid gold or cheddar-colored fabric. You'll find everything you need as far as cutting dimensions for this block on the right-hand side of your screen. Bonnie Hunter is known for taking a scrappy approach to her quilts, so we wanted to talk about how you make a scrappy look work. And here I've cut a number of different blue patches for this block, and I wanted to point a few things out. When you choose a variety of blues, you want to have the blues be different. You want as much variety as you can get. Here you can see that we have a dustier, darker blue. Here we have one that's brighter. Over here we have one with lighter areas. And so you want to remember that choosing the fabrics for a scrappy quilt, it's not like getting dressed where you want the blues to match. You want the blues to clash a little bit. You want to have some interest going on. So that's one thing you want to look at. Another thing to think about is the size of the motifs in the prints. Here you can see we have a motif that's tiny and tightly packed together. Over here we have a motif that's a little bit larger. Here we have one that's a little larger and has a lot of space in between the motifs, and so that's important to think about. Here we have some that are smaller and they're packed together in kind of a medium way. So again, with the size of the motifs and the way they're spaced, you want to shoot for variety. And you can see that we have a variance in how dark they are to how light they are. And that's a good thing. So you want to shoot for variety in all those different areas when you're going for a scrappy look. Now let's look at the lights that we're going to have for this block. And over here you can see that I have basic light cream colored fabrics, and you know those are all going to work. There's not a whole lot of difference in a bad way. They're close enough that they'll all work. But sometimes people bring in fabrics like this column and they wonder if they can make these work. And I think the answer is that you can sprinkle these in sparingly, but you don't want to have these in equal proportion to the really light ones, because then you'll start to lose the design of the block. Something to think about is if you feel like there's too much color or too much going on in a background fabric, you can look at the back side. So you can see that if you turn this over and put it on this pile, all of a sudden it's perfect and you could use it that way. This is a fabric that I might eliminate because I feel like it's just a little too dark to work as a light for the background. I might try the back side, but it still almost reads as a medium when what you're really looking for are these lights. This fabric I think you could sprinkle in just fine. This again I might end up eliminating. And over here are a few more that I think I might eliminate. As far as when you're looking at blues, I feel like this one has a lot of white going on, and this one has even more white going on. So if you put those next to one of your blues that you know will work, you can see the difference. There's a lot of light in this blue. So these are fabrics that I might throw out. This was originally, I cut it for a light, but you can see, gosh, that looks like a medium when you throw it in there. Certainly you could turn it over and use the wrong side, but I guess I just wanted to show you that there are definitely fabrics that you will eliminate. So when it comes to constructing this block, the first thing you'll do is use the stitch and flip method to create these units. And there are unit 1s and unit 2s. And the thing I want you to notice here is that they are mirror images of each other, and you want to be sure you pay attention to that. So then you'll join these patches at the background 1.5 inch squares with the cheddar colored 1.5 inch squares. You'll join all those into 4 patches. And then you want to construct the block in quarters. And you want to pay attention to how these are placed and to how these colored patches run across the block at the diagonal. So you'll join these like so. So this one to this gets attached here, and then these 2 parts go together to make 1/4 of the block. So you'll make 2 identical quadrants with the cheddar patches going diagonally across. So now you'll make the quadrants of the block that have the red patches going diagonally, and you want to look carefully here to make sure that the unit 1s and unit 2s are oriented correctly, and that the red patches go diagonally like so. And you use that same process. You'll join these parts to these parts. This comes up here. Those are joined there. This comes here. And then these parts come together to form this quadrant of the block. And so you'll want to make 2 identical quadrants like this. So then you'll take your 4 quadrants, and you want to be very careful here that the star forms in the middle. You can also think of it as a pinwheel, so that the black patches kind of point in diagonal in a circle this way, and the blue patches are oriented like so. And you want to pay attention to these, and you want to pay attention that the cheddar goes diagonally here and the red on each end like this, and you'll join the 4 quadrants together to get the finished block. Here you can see Midnight Flight in a setting of 5 by 5, and you can start to see how the design forms. Come to Quilty Pleasures, which is Quiltmaker's staff blog, for all kinds of quilt-related topics, interesting how-tos, beautiful images, and much more. You'll find Midnight Flight and 99 other amazing blocks in Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks Volume 4. Thanks for being with me today, and we'll see you next time on Quiltmaker's Block Network. Don't rock?
No, rock a little bit. Do something.